Last game, of course, had everybody's attention. Caitlin Clark
yeah.
taking on the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese in that game. Indiana, 93-58, just pure domination. I am just watching the Fever this year versus last year. What a difference, right? You've got a new head coach. So much more firepower. Adding Bonner and Natasha Howard.
Oof.
They just look like a deep team. Caitlin Clark's a stud. Aaliyah Boston was really strong. A double-double for her. She had 19 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 blocks. And then late in the game, they hunted for Caitlin Clark to get that last rebound. So she got that triple-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 blocks, 2 steals.
How'd you feel about that?
It's whatever.
Okay.
I mean, what like, are we going to get mad at it?
Well,
like, everyone wants to see a triple-double. I'm always like, what does it actually mean? You get one more. I mean, if she finished with 20, 10, and 9, are we going, she didn't have a good game. That one more rebound with the triple-double. It's whatever. She was good. She was really good.
She was really good. I mean, there was moments like you are comparing her game to Steph Curry because she's taking one dribble and taking the shot 30 feet out. And it's wild how teams will just have to stay on her like glue, deny the shit out of her, and she'll still find a way to get open. And when she gets that little bit of space and feels confident, she'll either take the shot, but then she'll also make the right play. She'll have a few bullets. Like there was a few turnovers I feel like she had. They might have ended up calling the turnover on the teammate that couldn't get the pass. But I felt like she does a really good job of leading her teammates with the basketball, and they're still trying to learn her when she does those things that like catch it and go. Take it. You don't need to take a dribble. You don't need to take a power dribble and go up to the rim. Catch it, 2-step, boom, get your layup going. You know, when you're running the floor, she will find you. She's a quarterback out there. And so those things they're still trying to connect on.
Indiana, by the way, showed out for that game. 17,000 in the building for Sky Fever.
I think every game is like sold out for them.
I do think watching Indiana, I know you want opening weekend overreactions. I think they're one of the best teams in the league. I mean, I think New York Liberty won still.
Yep.
They've got the depth, the experience, star power.
So good against the Aces. Yeah.
And it was a game Sabrina didn't even play well.
Yeah.
And they still handled their business against the Aces. So they're up there. I think Indiana's up there.
That's fine. And,
I do.
I even think the addition of like Stephanie White is kind of underrated.
I do too.
Especially when she's coaching a star like Caitlin Clark, and just their relationship, the understanding of how to change Caitlin's role of like, hey, you have players around you now, so you don't have to do everything.
And I felt like early on, like there was some opportunities for her to get her teammates involved, and she was. It's like it is finding the balance, because you want Caitlin Clark to be aggressive looking for hers, but you're right. There's so much tension on you. You've got the help around you. You've got other people who can score. And I think it's going to make life easier too, like the additions for someone like Aaliyah Boston, who's really talented. And, you know, the spacing at times is kind of out of whack last year. Now there's just so much more talent for Indiana. Of course, that game happened and everyone's talking about the whole Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark situation that led to Caitlin Clark being called for a flagrant foul in the game. It's so funny watching the narratives and seeing who actually watches basketball versus who doesn't, and who just wants to hop on like narrative, the narrative stuff. Let's just break down what happened, okay?
Break down what happened.
Angel Reese getting a little physical underneath with which, by the way, happens a lot in this game, where you see her trying to get a rebound, a little push in the back, a little push in the back to create space
Boston.
to get a rebound, right? And
do your thing.
She got it.
Yep.
And Caitlin Clark looks at the ref like, what the hell? You didn't call that? Then comes over swipes down a hard foul on Angel Reese and a slight little shove to the back.
Sure.
And Angel Reese gets up and is like pissed at it.
Love it.
And Caitlin Clark looks, kind of walks away.
She's like, I'm not, no.
And Angel Reese is heated. And I spent a lot of time thinking about this because I go from all perspectives.
Well, wait, the refs go to the ref.
Yeah. And they deem it as a flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark.
You go.
Yeah. One, think about this. You're Angel Reese. You get that offensive rebound. Caitlin Clark comes over, swipes down hard,
the shit out of
pushes you. You may jump up and say something. If it's someone else besides Caitlin Clark, I think Angel Reese is getting up and saying something.
Still saying something.
I think I was playing pickup basketball and someone did that to me.
Oh, I'm getting up and
saying something, right? And then from Caitlin Clark's perspective, she's irritated because the refs missed a call. And she's like, I'm not allowing an easy two. I'm coming over and
Fair hard foul.
Yeah,
fair hard foul. And it's a flagrant foul because your intention is to like come down hard. Yes.
I know. I personally, I was like, I don't know if it's a flagrant.
Okay.
It's definitely. I mean, obviously, it's a foul. It's a hard foul, but whatever, borderline, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, this happens in basketball. Like,
thank you.
Why are
that
we?
Is it?
Why are we acting like there's like some ulterior motives on both sides? Like, oh, they hate each other, and this is what happens. Like, no, this happens in basketball sometimes.
Thank you.
It's a physical game, and people who, even if people like each other, this shit happens.
People have a tough time, and sometimes it's an unconscious bias for a lot of people that watch sports, and especially women's sports. They have this thing where they have a tough time seeing women be aggressive with one another and being tough to one another. And it's like, oh my God, let's talk about this like it's drama. I will never forget when this asshole person in sports radio, because I was getting in a debate with another woman, he goes, cat fight.
Ugh.
And it's like, no, bro, it's just two basketball people debating basketball, but you're too big of a dumb shit to realize that. So my whole point to that being is like, people do these things with, and it's like, no. They're just two hoopers. They're just doing what they need to do out there and let it be. And you can talk about it. You can be like, oh shit, that just happened. Oh man, love the aggressive nature, whatever. But when we build it into something that it doesn't need to be, is when it's just like, all right, we need less casuals out there trying to work on these storylines and actually watch some hoops, okay?
It turns into something that's way bigger than it is. And it's like, no, like these.
Yeah. No. Thank you for bringing that up.
I'm trying to think who recently said this. It might have been Asia. Talking about like, she's like, I think if you're a reporter covering the league, that you should be able to like play basketball a little bit, and not saying that play like at their level, but just be able to understand the game. It made me laugh. Like, yeah, it's kind of true.
She wasn't saying like you had to play like, oh, you had to be on a college team, you had to be on a high school. You didn't have to be on a team, but you should be able to play the sport. And I love that because the way she was going about it, she wasn't talking shit about people who just read about the sport and want to cover it. She was more just being like, you get to understand all the intimate details of like being competitive, a sprint, being explosive on something, even when you can't be explosive because you're just like some, average Joe that's just going out there on the court and trying to play. And you're like, holy shit, that's hard. So when I do complain why someone wasn't explosive in this fast break, maybe I have a little bit more of an understanding. Loved it.
I'm just glad we got NBA playoff basketball right now. Start at the W. Let's go.